What's your view about the use of personal objectives as a performance measure? I think if we were to ask 10 managers what their philosophy is about them, I predict we would get 10 different opinions. It would range from those seeing them as being highly effective tools to those dreading them and feeling they're time-consuming bureaucratic chores. Some companies spend an enormous amount of time on the creation of group objectives and then pass them on to each staff member to then add their own, while other companies have policies that don't utilize them at all. This is one of those situations where you gather information from a variety of sources and develop the strategy that works best for you and the people you're managing, while at the same time falling within the guidelines of your company. For me, developing personal objectives with a salesperson is a chance to combine the coaching that I really enjoy with the corporate mandate, which means I like the one-on-one session since it's a focus on creating plans together to help the salesperson improve. I cringe at times at the corporate requirements because it can get too structured and formal. I'm of the school that less is more. I'd rather have 5 really actionable objectives than a laundry list that goes on for more than a dozen. I like that it's an assignment that I can work on together with each salesperson. It should be seen as a positive task rather than a burden. Many companies and managers like the use of the SMART performance management strategy since it clearly gives a strong direction to create effective objectives. S. Specific. This ties back to my preference for a focused objective and avoiding ones that have no clear direction. For a salesperson, we could say that during the first 2 quarters of the year, increase the amount of opportunities opened by 20 and dollar projections by 100,000. M. Measurable. Using my prior example, I've stated real numbers, not a percentage, and have specific timetable of 6 months. There's no guesswork. Everyone is clear on the numbers. A. Achievable. Agreed. No one likes to be assigned a personal objective that's unrealistic or one where they've had no input. As a manager, this is a great way to work on some mutual goals together and enable the salesperson to take some real ownership. R. Relevant. Realistic. It should be pretty straightforward, but developing objectives that have no chance of being completed is demoralizing right from the start and really defeats the purpose altogether. Objectives need to stretch people, but also need to be achievable. That's the reward when they're accomplished. T. Trackable. Time limit. I'm a big believer of timelines and dates. If you say something is due by the start of the month, it carries less significance than saying completion date required by May 1. I apply trackable timelines even for myself, as it puts some pressure on it and importance. Working with each salesperson to develop an agreed-upon set of personal objectives can be a really effective way to get everyone focused on performance improvement. The measurable items can be a win-win for everyone. It can build teamwork between you and your direct reports, but even more importantly, enable you to coach and target improvements to enhance the skills for each sales professional.